Tonight on the HPT, we're at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino, where a field of 462 entrants generated a prize pool of $448,000. Going out in ninth place was contractor and Pittsburgh native Johnny Orth. With ace-4 and only 4 big blinds remaining, Johnny went all in and was called by the ace-jack of Casey. Johnny paired his 4 on the flop and needed to avoid a jack or running cards to double up. But it wasn't meant to be. The jack of hearts on the river gave Casey a bigger pair, and Johnny was eliminated and walked away with just under $9,000. Our 8th place finisher, playing in his first ever HPT, was Professor and Pittsburgh native Larry Pileggi. Down to just 6 big blinds on the button with action folded to him, Larry was hoping to pick up the blinds and antes when he shoved all in with ace-10 of diamonds. Unfortunately for Larry, Josh in the big blind held the buzzsaw. That's right, pocket aces. With no help from the board, Larry was sent to the rails, but not for nothing. He won just over $11,000. And finally, going out in 7th place was professional poker player and Frankfort, Kentucky native Kurt Jewell. With just over 5 big blinds in his stack, Kurt shoved all in with his ace-queen and was quickly called by the pocket 8s of John. With no help on the flop, John made a set of 8s on the turn, and Kurt's quest for an HPT title was ended. He went home with nearly $14,000. All right, folks, we've got 6 players remaining and more than $250,000 to give away, and it all starts right now on the HPT.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined by my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kenna James. And Kenna, I'm in a good mood this week because we're in a brand new part of the country for the HPT.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They've been wanting us to come here for a long time, and here we are, and they have come out in droves to support our event.
How about these players? 462 entries, a prize pool of almost $450,000.
Over $100,000 up top, and we're down to our final 6.
All right, well, with no further ado, let's go ahead and meet those final 6 players, and most importantly, take a look at that prize pool.
Up top, a 6-figure payday, $102,248 on down to 6th place of $16,670.
Josh is your chip leader right now. John, Casey, Mark, Austin, and the other John round out the group. And Kenny James, it's our first time here at the Meadows. I'm excited. Let's play some poker.
Words well said. We get started under the gun.
Playing 61-20 with a 15K ante. John will be first here after a fold, and he looks down at pocket 10s.
Raise 350.
Going to raise it up to $350,000. Over to his left now, and Josh.
875.
We got a re-raise here, $875,000. Ooh, bad news for Josh. He's got pocket 8s.
Back to John now in the 7th seat.
All right, does John flat here, Kenna, or is there time for another raise maybe?
Yeah, he can play it either way. 6-handed 10s is really a big hand.
Call.
But he elects to just call, and look at the body language. Leans back, leans away. Usually a sense of fear or trepidation.
Look at this flop, Jack 10-5. John flopping a set here.
Well, if there was any fear, there isn't now. He's got middle set.
And he's going to check it over to Josh, and looks like Josh is going to reach for chips here. 900,000 is the bet.
Josh falls right into the trap. Is John looking like he's taking some acting lessons here? Really selling the weakness.
I'm all in.
And then an all in.
It follows it up with strength. Well, this is the number one tell in poker, right? Feign
Absolutely.
weakness when you're actually strong, and then followed up with strength. I wonder if Josh is going to sniff this out.
Oh, he didn't pick up on it. He's
Wow.
going to make the call. And look at John.
Trips, baby, let's go.
He says trips, baby. He's in a good mood.
Well, yeah, when you've got middle set and you've got all your chips in the middle, you're going to love it.
Nice hand.
And you heard Josh under his breath say, nice hand. It's not over yet, though. 2 cards to go. Let's go to the turn card first. A 7 of hearts. That's good news for Josh, as now he can make a straight with a 9. 1 more card to go. It's the 5 of diamonds. John's going to win the hand. He's very excited.
A little celebration there.
Yeah.
Kind of into the face. That's kind of like spiking the football.
Why would you come over the top with 8s pre-flop, man? It just doesn't make sense.
Wow,
Wow,
look at
now
that.
a little criticizing the pre-flop play of Josh. I'm not sure about the etiquette there.
Little needling after the fact here.
I mean, you know, it's a plus EV play to be gracious in win or gracious when you lose and humbling in victory.
Action over to the other John now. He's got pocket eights. He's going to go all in. And Casey's going to look him up here with his ace-king to re-raise. Mark gets out of the way.
Right off the top, we've got players moving all in.
Now over to John, and he's going to get out of the way. So a little fist bump there.
Hey, all right, there's a little sportsmanship.
John with the best of it right now, but up against two overs. And right there in the window is one of those overs, the ace of hearts. Casey goes in the lead.
To the turn we go.
Turn card is the deuce of diamonds. Ken, and nobody wants to be the first person eliminated. That's the worst. He wants to be on TV. Come on. John wants to hang around a little while longer. He's going to have to find an 8. No 8 on the river. It's the queen of diamonds. So our first casualty of the night here at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. 5 players left. They're all hoping to be our next HPT champion and go home with just over $102,000. Welcome back to the HPT. I'm James Larson, joined with my co-host, Mr. Kenny James, and we are here at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino right outside of Pittsburgh, about 25 miles from Pittsburgh. We're in the city of Washington, Pennsylvania. The action continues. Over to John, who's running pretty well so far. He looks down at King Jack of Diamonds.
Looks like he's grabbing some of those blue chips. Looks like we got the pastel colors with the chips today. The gray are 10,000, those pink 25K, and the blue, those are the top 100K, each one of those blue chips.
John raises it up to $425,000. Austin gets out of the way. And now we've got an all-in by Mark with 8-6 of diamonds. Action back over to John.
John's got a tough decision here.
Yeah, the decision is, do I put the coffee cup down or do I just hold it in my right hand?
Well, actually, that's interesting you say that, James, because a lot of people will use things like that as soothers in really stressful situations.
And we don't know that it's coffee in there. There could be anything in there. And he is going to make the call, and John's going to see the good news. Is King Jack way in the lead here? Mark with 8-6 of diamonds, all in for his tournament life. And John stands up, and he's feeling pretty darn good.
Yeah, a little anxious, though. You can see he's anxious as we go to the flop. Significant favorite.
And look at this. A couple of trays and a deuce, but most importantly, 2 diamonds. So John in very good shape here.
Really good. Mark only an 18% chance to wrestle this pot of the way.
Turn card is the 9 of spades.
I think I just said pot of the way.
Well, that's okay, Ken. Hey, that's why we have erasers on our pencils. The only thing that can help Mark here is an 8 or a 6.
Oh,
and look at that.
Look at this.
The 8 of clubs on the river. Mark's going to win the hand. He'll double up. A little fist pump to the audience. And John gives a fist pump and drinks a little bit of his coffee.
Yeah.
Mark is from Salem, Ohio, 50 years old. Total career winnings just over $200,000. His first HPT event. His plans for the prize money, keep playing more events. I like it. I like it a lot, Mark.
Always nice to reinvest in things that are going well. Why don't you guys come out and join us on an HPT event real soon, and you can be playing for that life-changing cash. Over 6 figures for first place. I love it.
All the information at hptpoker.com. Now Austin here on the short stack. He's going to shove his remaining chips in the middle with 9-6 of spades. And now decision back to John, but he's got ace-queen.
This really shouldn't be that tough of a decision for John with ace-queen, especially where the raise is coming from. Standing up. You know, sometimes you just don't need to sweat the automatics.
Right.
You might not like it. You just got to get it in.
Yeah, he's got ace-queen here. And it looks like he's going to make this call. And, yeah, there the chips go in the middle. He makes the call. And he's going to be really happy. But he thought he was happy in the last hand. But this time, he really has his opponent dominated. Ace-queen going up against the suited 9-6 of Austin. And we go to the flop. King 8-4, only 1 spade.
Yeah, he's still in really great shape. Austin really needs to get lucky here as we go to the turn.
And the turn card is the tray of spades.
Look at this.
Boy, this could be 2 hands in a row for John where he gets beat up on that final card.
Well, not so fast. He's still a 2-1 favorite, significant favorite as we go to the river.
You see the percentages, 66 to 34. Listen to that crowd. They're all cheering for Austin. Let's go to that river card.
He's got a loud crowd.
And it's a spade. Just like that, the king
my.
of spades comes up. Look at the crowd. Look at him.
Look at this.
Oh, look at John. He's slamming his coffee.
I love it. I mean, this is, it's like, back in the old days.
This is fantastic.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
When they told us we were coming to the Meadows Casino, I didn't know we were going to have this much fun. This is like being at a football game or a boxing match.
A rock concert, man.
Well, and John smiles. John, get rid of that coffee. I think it was bad luck coffee, my brother. All right, Casey's turn to play cards now. He's got an ace and a 6, and hey, let's get the chips
Now-
in the middle.
Now he's all in. I'm telling you, the action is hot and furious.
I like it out here in Pennsylvania. Now back to John. He's a little disheveled after the last 2 hands. He's scared to look at his cards here. King 9. John, that one you can muck. It's
Well-
okay. You can muck that one.
He's not mucking it that fast. I mean, sometimes it's how you deal with the setbacks. Do you go on tilt?
And now Josh is going to make the call with ace-queen, so we'll see if another player will get eliminated. Josh in the lead. You can see the percentages there, 70-25. We go to the flop. It's ace-king-jack.
Oh, wow. And this is really tough for Casey because remember, there's big pay jumps with each player that's eliminated. And
Absolutely.
He just watched 2 other players short stack not get eliminated, and now he's on the wire. Got to catch a 6 here.
And the river card is the 7 of spades.
Oh, man.
So Josh is going to win the hand. Casey is eliminated in 4th place, $21,560. And you know what? We need to take a break because, Kenna, I need to catch my breath.
Let's go. We'll see you right back here on the HBT.
Great to be out here at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. And right now, Ken, I want to give a shout-out to our affiliate here in Pittsburgh, AT&T Sportsnet. A lot of folks watch the HPT on a regular basis, and we appreciate AT&T Sportsnet for working with the HPT. Listen to that crowd, my friend. I mean, they're having fun out there.
It's a lot of excitement in the air.
I like it. You said it before the break. It's like what poker used to be. And here at the Meadows, they're bringing the fun back into the game. But let's not forget, up top, have you seen the money? $102,248, so we've got to get serious.
A little bit. It's to balance it. Here's Mark. He's got King Jack.
Raises up to $500,000 chips. Folded around now to Josh.
Well, the blinds now 100 and 200,000 with a 30K ante. And we're playing 4-handed, so those blinds are going to come around really quickly.
Yeah, fast and furious for sure here on the HPT. Mark is going to win that hand. So 4th place money, $28,806. 3rd place, just over $41,000. $62,502 for 2nd. And I just told you, the big payday here. All the cheeseburgers, $102,248 plus that $3,600 championship package.
Yeah, it's great. And $28,000 is a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But when you're this close, you got the title, and just think of the money jump. $70,000 is only 3 spots away. There's a lot of pressure on these opponents tonight as they make their decision.
You played on day 1, 12, 13 hours. You played on day 2. You make it to the final table. A lot of these guys haven't had a whole lot of sleep. They want to finish it. And every hand, Kenna, is as important as the next.
Got to pick your spots well. John raising here with Jack 10 hearts. So this is standard. You have your Broadway hands, and these are definitely almost like premium hands when you get 4-handed. And so you're raising and picking up the blinds and antes.
Great to see this studio audience. They're all having fun. You see folks out there having a few drinks, and I got a feeling when this thing's over, whoever wins, we're going to do some celebrating with these folks here at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. This property was opened in 2009. And great to be out here for the entire week. Action over to Josh. Looks over at King Queen. Raises to $525,000. Austin's going to get out of the way.
It's a little more than 2.5x. Josh seems to be the real steady player here at the table. Now, Mark here calling with King Jack. I really like when you're facing a raise and you have a Broadway hand like this, to be either in or out when you're on the short stack, not trying to call. You're just not going to know where you're at in the hand often enough. So you either got to get in or get out.
Now John here hasn't played in a while. I think he's kind of itching just to jump back into things, but he can't with the Jack-5, so heads up, we go to the flop. Mark and Josh. As you see, Josh was the raiser to $525,000. And the flop is King 9-8, couple of hearts.
This is going to bring trouble for Mark now. Oh, look. Yep.
Wow.
He moves in.
Just like that, all in, and Josh snaps just like that. You see the percentages, 85 to 11.
Yeah.
Mark doesn't like it at all as he stands up.
And see, if Mark would have moved all in pre-flop, he might have gotten Josh off this hand. But now he's made the worst hand in poker second best. But he's got 11% chance. We go to the turn. He's going to need a jack. Or running cards for a straight.
And that turn card is the ace of clubs.
No help there. Down to 5%, 20 to 1.
Yeah, he's got a few chop outs now, but not looking good for Mark as he goes to the river. And the 7 of clubs hits the river, and that's going to do it for Mark. He'll be eliminated, but a very nice payday for him, almost $29,000. And I bring in Kenna James, our resident pro here. And Kenna, break down that final hand for Mark.
Well, we got basically a competition of 2 Broadway hands, right? And King Jack, it's one of these tough hands to play. I like to be either in or out with it, especially on the short stack. And he found his way into taking middle ground, ends up making the worst hand in poker second best. But hey, look, he's got over $28,000, went over through a field of over 400 players. A fantastic job.
Speaking of players, now we are down to our final 3. And when we come back from this quick commercial break, the action continues right here on the HPT. HPT's first ever event in the state of Pennsylvania. What a huge success. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James broadcasting for the HPT. Let's get right back to the action. Austin, he's going to fold over to Johnny.
And Austin now on the short stack, 12 big blinds. He's going to look for a good spot to get his chips in. Sometimes just getting out of the way and let the other two battle it out is important, and that's exactly what's happening here.
So John raised here with his King 5. Josh makes the call. We see a flop of Queen 9-7, 2 spades.
John bets. Josh is not going anywhere. He's got the open-ended straight. Now, does he semi-bluff here, or does he just call? Big decision here.
John with the C-bet of $775,000. Josh elects just to make the call. We go to the turn card. It's another 9.
And I like his call here because now he can represent the 9.
So John slows down. He checks. Now action over to Josh.
Ooh, he checks it back. I think that would be a great spot for a pickup.
Now we go to the river, and look at that card. How about the 5 of hearts out of nowhere?
Well, now, you see, now if Josh tries to bluff now, it's less likely to get through because spades miss. He can't really represent the 9, and John has got enough to catch a bluff here.
Absolutely.
What we call a bluff catcher with bottom pair. And sure enough, he does.
He makes the call, and he's going to win a pot of over 5 million chips. Look at him. He's going to celebrate.
He's got a lot to celebrate, James. He's going to over quadruple his career earnings. Over $40,000 for third. His career earnings so far, about $10,000.
Yeah, I just noticed that here on his player profile. $10,000 in total career winnings. And you said it, bro. Yeah, right now, 41,431, 62,502 for second, and 102,248 up top. Action over to John. Looks down at 10-4.
Always nice to know what you're playing for. And speaking, for those of you who might be joining us late, those blue chips, 100,000. The pink are 25,000 apiece. We're playing 100, 200,000 blinds with a $30,000 ante.
All right, so a battle of the blinds here, Josh and John. And the flop is King, Jack, 8. So Josh pairs his 8.
And Josh, actually it's Josh with a pair of 8s, but he checks it back here, James, instead of betting. I would have liked to bet there, as now John picks up an open-ended straight on the turn.
Action to John. We'll see if he decides to bet here, and he's reaching for some of those blue chips and a couple pink ones. 275 is the bet over to Josh.
He makes a semi-bluff here, and Josh is rightly going to call here, but I think he's gotten himself into more trouble by playing this hand very passively.
River card is the 5 of spades. Once again, John will start here. You see the percentages.
Yeah, but now his play here could elicit a bluff on the river by John, but that's going to make it a tough call for Josh. Can
Absolutely.
he make it? And it's sure enough, you know, this is a good time to bluff on the river when you really have no other chance to win the hand.
450,000 is the bet by John.
And he makes it look like a value bet. I like that, you know.
Action over to Josh. Now a pot of almost 1.5 million chips in there.
And he's staring at 3 overcards, a possible
Right.
straight. This is going to make it a very tough call if he can make it. Just thinking about it. He's playing back the hand. And he makes the call. Great call. John proudly turns over 10.
I like it. Josh is going to win that hand. The 29-year-old from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Local guy.
Yeah.
$100 invested in this. His plans for the money, he's going to pay off all debts, he says. All debts will be paid off. That's what he wrote on his player profile sheet.
Nice.
Action
nice.
over to John. Now looks down at 5 tray. He's going to put that into the muck.
And Josh now, with Austin on the short stack, just moves all in from the small blind with 8-7 of hearts. He's forcing Austin to a hand, and he finds it and makes the call with ace-9.
Look at that. Austin likes his chances here. A big ace and a 9. 2 overs to the 8-7. So he stands up, a little high five. Look at that T-shirt on his friend there. It's a little weird. So Josh not real happy about this, but we go to the flop, and it's king 9-7. Things get better for Austin. He pairs his 9.
Yeah, he's got a dominating position now, 77% favorite as we go to the turn.
It's the jack of clubs. Little help here for Josh. Now he can make a straight, but only 1 card to go.
Yeah, and Austin picks up the flush draw.
It's the 5 of hearts, so Austin is going to get a huge double up. They love him here at the Meadows. He is a crowd favorite, my friend.
A lot of brotherly love going on.
A pot of just under 6 million chips. Josh McFall not real happy about that, but you know, in poker, you brush yourself off and you play the next hand. I'm James Larson alongside Kenneth James here as we broadcast just 25 miles from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. Down to our final 3. We will crown a champion tonight. And look at Johnny. Johnny wakes up with pocket kings.
He's certainly got his fair share of hands tonight. And again, look at the
I
tell
know.
here. Over concern, taking a lot of time.
Head in his hand, looking a little, I don't like this hand, but what am I going to do? I'm going to raise now.
He's really selling it, but it worked last time. His opponent bought the act. Will he do it again?
650,000 over to Josh. That's why it's important to watch your players. Watch them look at their cards.
Right.
Look at that body language.
Well, Josh now, this is pretty much automatic with his stack size. Moves all in with the ace-8 of spades.
He said, look at John. He says, let's play. He says, let's play. Puts down his pocket kings.
You know, this is interesting, James, because as dominated as John looks here, Josh rather, he's still got a 30% chance to win.
Absolutely. Flop is queen, 10 deuce, couple of clubs. Good news there for John.
Well, that's really shrunk up now.
Turn card now is the 6 of diamonds, so now only one of the remaining 3 aces in the deck for Josh, or he will be eliminated.
He's on a wing and a prayer as we go to the river.
And it's the 5 of diamonds. That is going to do it for Josh. Third place money, though, not for nothing. A great payday, $41,431. And when we come back, we'll be down to our final 2. We started with 462 entries.
Wow.
We paid 54, a prize pool of just over 448,000. And Kenneth James, now we are down to our final 2.
Heads up play. It's exciting. Austin getting us started here with ace-7 of hearts on the button. Grabs a handful of those blue 100K chips.
How important is having an ace heads up? It's everything, right?
Huge.
Absolutely.
Huge.
He raises to 650,000, but also having a king, that's kind of nice too, isn't it? Heads
Yeah,
up?
I mean, basically in heads up, you're looking for high cards and pairs. And so I expect John to defend here, and he does with the king 4.
E7,
the flop.
king 4.
You can hear our tournament director, Jeremy, in the background, expertly calling the action.
Flop is Jack 9-8. Austin there with a gut shot straight draw. John's going to check over after he sips his coffee.
Yeah, I think it's really a prop to make it look like he's more relaxed than he actually is on the inside when you're playing for a difference of over $40,000.
A whole lot of cash. A deuce of hearts on the turn. John checks over to Austin.
I expect Austin to make a bet here. Ace high when checked to twice. And sure enough, he moves all in.
And all in here. And John, he's going to think about it, but odds are those cards are going to get into the muck.
He looks disgusted, and now he's asking for a count. This is another one of these auto, folds.
Did you see that? Austin almost flipped over his cards
Yeah.
because I'd like a count. He thought he said call.
Well, I think it was a move on Austin's part.
Could have been. Could have been.
He's trying to induce a fold from John. Little does he know that John has nothing and is basically wasting time here. His coffee's going cold, as does his cards reach the muck. Austin wins the first hand of heads-up play.
All right, so advantage so far here, heads up, going to Austin. He wins the first hand. Now you hear the crowd. Let me ask you a question. Is there such thing as home field advantage on the felt?
Absolutely. I'm telling you, I've played all over the world. There's certain places, the energy is there, the crowd's behind you, and it fuels you to accomplish what you have to do. This is a real battle going on right now.
These fans love Austin so much. The gentleman over in the corner, when we get a shot of him, that picture on his shirt, that's Austin's face on
Really?
his shirt. Yeah, that guy. We'll get to a wide shot here. I'll show it to you.
Well, I know something about that. I've played heads up with the crowd where they
Sure.
came with their T-shirts
Right.
with a picture.
There
of,
he is right there with his hands. That's
yeah.
Austin's face on that shirt. Unbelievable. All right, we go to the flop. It's King 7 tray. So Austin pairs his king. He's going to check it over to John.
This is really exciting.
This is
I'm
fun.
telling you, John has started heads-up play, as we said, with about a 2-to-1 chip lead. But with these blind sizes,
Right.
one all in, it just changes the dynamic of the game really quickly.
Austin is 31 years old from right here in Pennsylvania. His total career winnings just over $19,000, and he got into this tournament. The amount invested in this tournament for Austin, $135.
Dreams do come true, my friend.
You talk about ROI. If you want to join us sometime, you can do it too. HPTpoker.com. We go to the turn card. It's the 5 of clubs.
Austin really has a stranglehold on this pot. Licking his lips, knowing top pair heads up is a really good hand.
River card now is the 10 of clubs. You see 100% for Austin. He can't lose the hand unless he folds.
Which is not going to happen. He's going to look to make a value bet here, but John really doesn't have enough to call here, so I expect this to be a bet and a fold, and it's on to the next hand.
A pot of just over 3 million chips. Austin now reaching for some of those blue chips.
I expect him to bet like a weak value bet here with his hand, maybe around $1 million, about a third of the pot, maybe a little less.
Going to be 1.2 million. Action back over to John.
See, and that's a little heavy because you're trying to get called here by maybe a 10. It looks more like his opponent might have a busted flush draw. Too big of a bet size for ace high to call here, whereas if he bet 700 or 800,000, he might have gotten called here.
I've never seen someone on the HPT with the coffee. He loves the coffee. He's holding it proudly.
Yeah.
Warming
Well,
up.
as I said, I think it's a soother, a tension soother.
Fold.
All right, so John's going to fold. The crowd will go wild. Now, you as a poker coach, okay, if you
Yes.
could just pull John aside. He's 0 for 2 here, heads up. What advice would you give to John? Because he's looking like he's not having as much fun as he was having before.
Well, it's never fun when you're losing hands, but just, the first advice I'd do is set down the coffee.
Put it down, please.
And let's get to playing poker. Look at the nice rock he has as a
I like
as
it.
a chip protector.
I like this guy. We're gonna have some fun after this final table. Johnny's gonna make the call.
And another piece of advice is, on the button, even with a raggedy hand like 10-4 suited, I'd enter with a raise rather than just limp in.
Flop is 10-8 tray, couple of hearts. That's good for John. They both pair their 10.
Well, yeah, this is a very interesting hand here with both players flopping top pair, which is usually good. But John, he's got the flush draw to go with it.
So 400,000 is the bet by John. Austin makes the call. We go to the turn card. No heart. It's the king of clubs.
This is really going to get really interesting now. And John rightly checks it back. I like how both players are playing their hand here.
River card, no heart. It's the 5 of spades. So you see the percentages change there. Austin now cannot lose unless he folds. 100% as you see after his name with his 10-6.
Is he going to go for a value bet? Or is he going to check? Yeah, he is going to go for value. I like this. Again, sizing is so important here. Maybe 500 or 600,000.
The bet of 700,000. We'll see if John pays him off here.
I expect John to, because there's 2 hearts out there. There's a missed flush draw. There's missed clubs.
Yeah, he's got the chips in his hand. He makes the call, and he is going to see the bad news. So the first 3 hands of heads up going to the home favorite.
How about it?
That's Austin Wentling from Monroeville, Pennsylvania. We'll see if the 31-year-old can win this HPT title. How you doing, folks? James Larson here alongside poker professional and coach Mr. Kenneth James as we broadcast from the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. We're in Washington, Pennsylvania, just 25 miles south of Pittsburgh. This place opened up in 2009. It's a massive 350,000 square foot casino, 3,300 slot machines, and of course, plenty of great poker. And speaking of poker, let's get right back to it, Kenna.
Austin opening up with King Queen on the button here, raising to 750,000.
John's still got that coffee. I'm guessing, Kenna, they've got free refills here at the Meadows. As he takes a big drink. And he's going to make the call. 750 and a call.
And if you saw, he had a just move to the nose there, which tends to indicate weakness or uncertainty. But catches a good flop here. They both flop an open-ended straight, but Austin's got top pair to go with his.
And the flop here, King, Jack, 10. And now John reaching for chips.
Looks like he's going to go ahead and make a semi-bluff.
1.1.
1.1 million chips. You heard the man. Over to Austin, who's got the best of it here. As you said, he paired his king.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whether he gets it all in here or just decides to call and try and elicit a bluff on the turn from his opponent.
Both players trying to win their first HPT title right here on national television. John's 51 years old. Austin, 31 years old.
All in.
And now an all-in by Austin. Action back to John. He drinks that coffee. Does he make this call, Kenneth James?
Well, he's got the chips. He's got a 2-1 chip lead. He doesn't know what his opponent has. He might just go ahead and try to end it right here, and he does.
He's going to make the call, ladies and gentlemen.
He's not going to like it. He's only got a 1%
Yeah,
chance.
All right, so Austin in very good shape here to double up. The crowd loves it. His friends, his family, they're all cheering for him. I think there's total strangers cheering for this guy. The turn card is the 8 of diamonds. A huge pot here. And John, you can tell he doesn't like any bit of this. And there comes the Queen of Hearts on the end. So Austin is going to win this hand. And we need to reconcile these chips and figure out where we're at. But I think it's pretty obvious we've got a new chip leader.
Or it's going to be close. Started about 2-1. This should pull him about even, maybe a little bit in front, as you said, James.
But the momentum. Ever since we started playing heads up, it has been all Austin. And I think, obviously, the cards have a lot to do with it, but this home field advantage definitely doesn't hurt. A baby pair now for John, pocket trays, and he's kind of thinking to himself.
All in.
Oh, well, he's going to think with an all-in bet here. And over to Austin with King 6, and that's going to go into the muck.
Well, the blinds now just raised to 200, 400,000 with a 50K ante. So as the blinds go up, you get those smaller, tiny pairs. A lot of times the best play is just to move all in.
If you're just joining us, second place money, $62,502 up top, 102,248. So a difference of $38,000, $39,000 here. Austin on the button is going to raise it to $900,000 with his Jack 8. Now over to Mr. Coffee. Johnny looks down at 10-9.
And John's going to make the call, 900,000 and a call.
He makes the call. We go to the flop. And right in the window there, the Jack of Spades. The flop is Jack 10-6, couple of spades.
Both players flopping a pair. We should see some action here.
Austin once again with the best of it here, pairing his Jack.
All in.
And now look at this, all in and a quick call, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the excitement by Austin. Man. And look at all John can do.
How about the sweats are pulled up around the calf?
Yeah, turn card here, 5 of clubs. All John can do is drink his coffee.
Well, he can do a little bit more than that. If he could catch a 9.
Let's go to that river card. It's the 9 of spades, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that. Just like that. The crowd, the wind is out of their sails.
Look at that. And
John went. Look at Austin. He can't believe it. He's looking at the.
Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Unbelievable, Ken.
He had all the energy, all the momentum, and now John will not be denied. He's got a massive chip lead, and he's got
this.
2 aces on the button.
Pocket aces for John. The worm has turned.
What does that mean, the worm
It
is
means
turned?
that things are going well for him now.
850,000.
I
So
thought,
he's going to raise it to 850,000.
which side of the worm is the head and which side is the tail?
I
I
don't
know if
know,
it
man.
can turn.
And look at this. John loves it.
Let's go.
Austin all in and a call. And look at John.
Oh my gosh, this looks like it. This is like the nail in the coffin.
So this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. This could be our final hand of the night.
A significant chip lead, a significant advantage, 86% Austin. Ooh,
And we go
he
to
catches
the
a
flop
king.
here. King, Trey, Deuce, couple of hearts. So Austin pairs his king.
He's willing it. He's trying to draw the energy from the audience.
Yeah,
Can he will a 10?
Turn
Nope.
card now is the 6 of clubs.
Down to 1 card, or John will be our champion.
It all comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen.
To the river we go.
The crowd is waiting for it. They're calling for a 10. The river card is the 10 of spades, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? You couldn't script this, Kenna. Kenna, you couldn't script this.
Oh, my.
I heard somebody in the audience yell for the 10 of spades. This is unbelievable. The aces are cracked.
Look at this. Is that
Listen,
is poker?
We've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more exciting final table action.
That's justice.
Welcome back to the Meadows Casino, just 25 miles from Pittsburgh. James Larson, my name, alongside Kenna James. Kenna, do you remember the last time we've had this much fun calling a final table, especially this heads-up match?
I'll tell you never know what the cards are going to bring. But one thing we know is that the winner is going to bring home all that cash and that bracelet that's sitting in the center of the table.
And the bragging rights and everything else that goes along with that. Let's go to the flop now. It's 10-9-7, couple of spades. John, he'll be first to act.
Looks like he's going to lead in and try and steal position with a bet with king high here, but this is not going to get through. Austin's got centered pair here, or actually bottom pair. But any pair when you're playing heads up
absolutely
is usually good, so he's going to make the call, it looks like.
Yeah, the bet is 400,000. Austin makes the call. We go to the turn card now. It's the deuce of clubs. Action once again on John. John looks a little tired. Was that decaffeinated coffee he's been slamming here at this final table?
Well, the emotional highs and lows.
Absolutely.
It takes its toll. He checks. He decides to give up his bluff double barrel attempt there.
Now Austin He's going to check, so we'll peel off this river card. River card is the 5 of diamonds. Once again, action back to John. Nothing going for him here in this hand, but that doesn't mean he can't grab some of those blue chips.
Now he's going to make what I anticipate a failed bluff river attempt because Austin has managed his pot size, done great pot control, and I expect him to pay this off. He's really playing well. His reads are good. He's just going to make sure. There's 2 spades out there. There's missed straight draws, flush draws. This should be an easy call.
Bet of $750,000.
I guess nothing's really easy when you've got $40,000 basically on the line.
Right.
So I think he's just being careful and taking his time, but I expect him to reason this out and make the call.
Playing for a whole lot of cash tonight here on the HPT. And Austin is going to make the call, and he's going to see the very good news, John, just with king high. Austin's going to drag another pot. Now, you've been in these situations where everybody's cheering for your opponent. How does that make you feel as a poker player? I mean, what's going through John's mind right now?
Well, how I feel and how John feels may be different. I'm so focused in the moment.
Right.
I kind of block that out. I don't know whether it's getting to John or not. But it's nice to have the chip lead, which he does.
Absolutely. Looks down at Queen 10-2, a great hand here, heads up.
Yeah.
What's a standard raise when we're playing blinds at 2-4, 200,
Right.
400 with a 50K ante? Heads up, what's a standard raise in this situation?
$1 million, $1 million to go. But, as the blinds get so high, when you have hands like this, sometimes it's just better to move in because you're picking up so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, both players have less than 30 big blinds now.
Oh, look at this. Bad news for Johnny because a good hand for Austin, and he's going to go all in, and, boy, John's probably going to make this call, don't you think?
It's tough, It's really tough to call off with Broadway, which is why I like just moving in with it. Queen high is almost never good in this spot. And here you can see he's just really dominated. This would be a nice spot for John. It's a check, It's a gut check here to really realize this and let your hand go.
We talked about this before. Total career winnings for John, just over $10,000. So he obviously,
either way, yeah,
he hasn't been in this situation a whole lot of times. Let's be honest. Just by his poker resume,
this
we
is
know
the
that.
only time.
Yeah, right, exactly. Will he make this call?
I hope not. I hope John gets away from this. He reasons it out.
Fold.
Nice fold. There's a good fold. You see, sometimes you can reason yourself into a bad call by convincing yourself, oh, my opponent has a tiny or a small pair. Maybe I'm a 50-50 and I should make this call.
Now, my producer just told me he's got, John has some folks in the audience. His wife is with him and his parents, Frank and Karen, as well as his brother-in-law, Drew.
That's
so
nice.
They're going to see a big hand here.
Yes.
Austin raises with his pocket deuces to
Yeah, and this is pretty much standard for both players.
Yeah.
An all-in for a pair and a quick call by ace-queen with the championship on the line. We go to the flop, James.
And the flop is 10-6-5. So far, so good for Austin.
Jack or king, baby. Let's make it fun.
John says Jack or king. Well, ace or queen would be good, too. Look at that. The ace of diamonds on the turn. John goes into the lead. Would you expect anything else from tonight's play?
Oh, this...
And the deuce on the river.
Oh, no.
The deuce on the river. That's it, folks. It's over.
Is that it?
Over. That's it. It's
Has he
over.
got him covered?
Yes, it's over.
Oh, my.
Austin, look at him looking at the camera. First place money, $102,248. Unbelievable.
We were watching poker, but it feels more like the Super Bowl.
It was a lot of love and admiration coming from his family and friends there. It all goes together. What a prize package for our winner tonight.
You're right about that. Now, second place, somebody has to finish there, and that is John. A nice payday for him, and we're going to catch up as Jeremy Smith talks to him right now.
$62,000 for second. What's your plans for the money?
I wrote on a little sheet of paper, I'm going to take a staycation, but since my rail was so quiet, I think they're hungry. We're going to go get some steak and probably pay for my daughter's tuition at Villanova.
Thanks so much, John, and congratulations once again on your second place finish. But right now, Kenna, it is time to talk about our champion, Austin. He's going home with the bracelet, the cash, and the title.
Yeah, he's really played a great game from start to finish and really deserves this title.
And I think he really needs to thank his rail. These folks were very active
and helping him win this HPT title. He's joined with our tournament director, Jeremy Smith.
I'd like to thank my family, my friends, and Miss Morris, my first grade teacher, who told me I would never, ever be anything. Ever. She told me I was never going to be anything.
Thank that dealer, baby.
Where are you now, Miss Morris? Where are you now?
Well, you're an HPT champion now, walking away with just over $100,000. What's your plans for the money?
Ah, wow.
We're going to have a party, boy.
I'm a little bit of a saver, but I'm sure I'll probably gamble more.
Good.
Probably,
Maybe a couple more HPT events?
I have to defend the title, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Kenna, what a fantastic interview by Austin, our newest HPT champion. And he's got reason to be excited. A six-figure payday, and he's the champ.
Yeah, and I like his philosophy. I'm going to gamble some, I'm going to save some, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to defend my title. I love this guy.
Yeah, speaking of coming back, I can guarantee the HPT will be back here at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino. It's been an awesome week, and we met a lot of new friends.
We did, and I'll tell you, it's been a fantastic time here. I really look forward to coming back to this property.
All right, folks, if you're watching this show and you think you have what it takes to play right here on the national stage, why not give it a shot? Just log on to our website at hptpoker.com, and who knows, maybe you'll be playing for the unreal cash. For Kenna James, I'm James Larson, and we'll see you next time right here on the HPT.